In this presentation, we are going to discuss the topic Analog to Digital Conversion ADC from Chapter 5 Data Converters and PLDs from subject Digital Techniques 22320. As the name suggests analog to digital converter. So here it is a device or the instrument which converts analog signal into digital signal. So if you give analog input, the output will be digital equivalent to the analog input. So here you can see the table. So you can find out here. For example, if you give analog voltage 1 volt, the output binary will be 001. So this is 001 is the binary equivalent of input voltage 1. If you give input voltage 5, the output you will get is 101. This is binary output of analog voltage 5. So it is clear that it is a circuit which converts analog signal into digital signal. So here we can see in this slide that the analog signal is shown here as well as the digital signal is shown here. So what is an analog signal and digital signal? That we have already studied in basic electronics. Digital signal is having a constant voltage for some instant of time, that is high voltage, and a low voltage for some instant of time, as you can see here. Also you can see the analog signal. Analog signal is increase in voltage gradually, and then it will reach to the highest point, and then again it will come to zero, and then negative voltage reach to the highest peak, and then again to zero. So you can see a digital signal and analog signals. There are different types of analog to digital converters. So of that, one is flash ADC, second one is digital ramp dual slope counter slope ADC. So it is also called as digital ramp ADC or dual slope ADC or counter slope ADC. And third one is successive approximation analog to digital converter. Of this, dual slope analog to digital converter and successive approximation analog to digital converter is covered in this video. Flash type ADC is not covered in this video. So we'll check now what is a dual slope analog to digital converter. It is also called as counter ramp or digital ramp analog to digital converter. This analog to digital converters is used in measurement instruments such as digital voltmeters. So in digital multimeter, if you know about digital multimeters, there you can measure the voltage. If you know this, you can measure analog voltage, you can measure digital voltage. So there it is used. It is one basic example of analog to digital converter. So this is the circuit diagram of dual slope analog to digital converter circuit. So you can see here on the left side there is a switch. So switch, you know that it can have only two states, either on either off. Their input is connected. One is input and the second one is reference voltage. Now reference voltage is the voltage which is having some predetermined value. For example, if we set the reference voltage to 3 volts, so it won't change ever. It will remain in that voltage only. Then the switch is connected to the operational amplifier. So here the triangle which you see, it is a symbol of operational amplifier. It is also called as op-amp, and it is nothing but the IC, operational IC. Now this op-amp IC will have two inputs. So operational amplifier will always have two inputs and one output. So here you can see operational amplifier is connected with a resistor and a capacitor in a feedback path. So there is a capacitor from output to connected back to input. and the second point, that is plus point, that is called as non-inverting terminal. So these are the two input terminals. So plus sign where you can see, it is called as non-inverting terminal. So this is one input terminal, and the minus sign where you can see, it is called as inverting terminal. And if the two voltages are applied to these 2 points, for example V1 is applied to minus terminal and V2 is applied to plus terminal, then if the operational amplifier is used as comparator, then the output will be V2 minus V1. So since two voltages are given, V2 and V1, so V2 is connected to positive voltage, so and V1 is connected to negative voltage. So output voltage V0 of the operational amplifier will be difference of this voltage, so V2 minus V1. But since here resistor and capacitor is connected, the whole that operational amplifier and resistor and capacitor becomes an integrator. That circuit is called as an integrator. Then the next operational amplifier you can see, and there you can see that operational amplifier is having only two inputs. There is no feedback path, that is from output to input nothing is connected. So that operational amplifier is nothing but your comparator. So now here whatever voltages will come to plus voltage, it is 0 volt since it is grounded, and minus voltage minus terminal, if the voltage V1 is there, then the output will be 0 minus V1. It will be always difference in the voltages whatever will be applied to the input. So second operational amplifier is called as comparator, and that output of the comparator is connected to AND gate. So one input to AND gate is the comparator output, and the second input to AND gate is clock signal. We have already studied in the counter what is the function of the clock signal. Clock is very important. Any sequential circuit will give output at a specific time, and that is completely decided by the clock. So at clock is having different levels, positive level, negative level, and also it is having positive edge and a negative edge. So any of the sequential circuit can be triggered to one of this. If it is triggered to positive edge, then at every positive edge you will get the output if you give the input. So that AND gate output is connected to control logic, and that is directly connected to the counters. So that control whatever AND gate output will be there, depending on that the counter will work. So counter will start counting. So we have studied about the up counter and down counter in the 4th chapter. So if the counter is up counter, so counter will start giving the outputs 0 0 0, then it will go to the next state, that is 0 0 1. So step by step it will go, then it will go to 0 1 0 and so on. And that counter output is given to the register. Registers also we have studied in chapter 4. Registers function is to store the data for some instant of time. These are the temporary memory, small memories, and whatever is stored in the register, that is nothing but your digital output. Now we'll see how it works. So in a small explanation, the working of dual slope function is when analog value is applied to the capacitor. So when an analog value is given to the capacitor will start charging. So capacitors charge slowly. From first the low voltages will come, then it will charge, then voltage will go on increase, and capacitor starts to charge till the highest voltage is reached. Charge in a linear manner, and because of as the capacitor is charging, the oscillator or the clock is passed to the counter. So the clock will be given to the counter, and as the clock is given to the counter, then the counter will start giving the outputs, that is the counting the clock pulse. So if counter is up counter, then it will start with 0 0 0, then it will go to the next stage 0 0 1 and so on. It will go on counting one by one state, combinational state, until it reaches a predetermined value. It reaches the predetermined value. So here it is nothing but a reference voltage. So as it reaches the reference voltage, the counter will go on counting. Once the value is reached, the counter stops. So when the reference voltage and the counter value matches, the counter stops and the counter is reset. So this is how it works. So here you can understand the control logic switches the input to the first comparator to reference voltage, providing discharge path for the capacitor. As the capacitor discharges, the counter counts. And when the capacitor voltage reaches the reference voltage, the counter stops and the value is stored in the register. And whatever value is stored in the register, that is your final digital output of the analog input. So whatever analog input, for example 5 volts you are giving, so analog input, you know that slowly it will go on increasing and it will reach to the 5 volts. So that is analog, as it is changing. So when it reaches that 5 volt, the digital output 101 will be the output, digital equivalent 5 volt output. So this is the working of the dual slope function. Next we are going to study successive approximation analog to digital converter. This is quite interesting, and it has been used in most of the devices. So here you can see that it is much faster than digital ramp or ADC, because it uses digital logic to converge on the value closest to the input voltage. This you can understand in the next slide. A comparator and a DAC are used in the process. So what is the difference in successive approximation analog to digital converter is, here we use a register called as successive approximation register in the circuit of analog to digital. So instead of now here, the what is the importance of successive approximation register, you can understand is, this register is like microprocessor, but it is not actual microprocessor, perfect microprocessor. So what it will do is, initially depending upon the comparison or some voltage, it will first set the MSB bit of DAC, digital to analog converter, set. So first MSB bit will be 1 and then rest will be 0, and again then again it will do the comparison, and then the next bit, which is very near consecutive adjacent to the MSB bit, it will set or reset. That will totally depend upon the comparison. We will see it later with that time in the block diagram. The register monitors the comparator's output to see if the binary count is greater or less than the analog signal input and adjusts the bits accordingly. So this is the circuit diagram of successive approximation analog to digital converter. It is quite interesting. You can see here operational amplifier is there. Op-amp is used as a comparator because output is not connected back to the input with some resistor or capacitor, nothing is there. So only inputs are there, positive input terminal analog voltage is given, and negative input terminal you can see is nothing but the voltage from digital to analog converters. So in ADC we use digital to analog converters. So the output of the comparator is given to successive approximation register, and that successive approximation register output is nothing but the digital output. So that digital output is taken as the actual output. So that will give the output, and that is again connected back to digital to analog converter, and that is given back to the comparator. So there are two signals called as start of conversion and end of conversion in SAR. So when you press the button of start of conversion, SAR will start working, and when SAR completes its work, that is analog input voltage, whatever is given is detected and its equivalent digital signal is generated, that time it will stop working and it will give the signal end of conversion. VC is the comparator output and VDAC is the digital to analog converter output. Now clock oscillator is very important. Successive approximation needs clock. If clock is not there, it is not going to work. So you can see there are the conditions. Condition 1, if input voltage is greater than VDAC. So if input analog voltage is greater than VDAC means digital to analog converter. Initially VDAC is set to 0. So all out 0 volts. So the digital signal present here you can see. So the digital signals D7, D6, D5 all this is reset. So that becomes 0. All are 0. So that is given to digital to analog converters. So digital to analog converter, we convert digital signal to analog. So therefore 0 voltage will be developed. So VDAC is 0 volt initially. So that is given to comparator, that is 0 volts, and the analog voltage is applied to the positive terminal of the comparator. And the comparator will compare the 0 volts and analog voltage V in. As long as V in is greater than VDAC, the comparator output is logic 1, positive voltage. And if the positive voltage is there, then the successive then the clock is applied to the successive approximation register, and the MSB bit, that is D7, will set. If it is greater, will set, and rest D6, D5, D4, D3, D2, D1, D0 will be 0. And that digital signal is given back to digital to analog converter, and that will convert into analog voltage. So that becomes your analog voltage, and that is again now will be given back to the comparator. So for example, if we consider that 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 as analog voltage as 8 volts, so 8 volt is present at VDAC now, and the analog signal voltage V in is connected to positive terminal. Then again this comparator will compare both the signals, and if analog signal is greater than VDAC, again positive voltage is developed at the comparator output, and the successive approximation will now reset the D6 bit. Already it has reset, set the D6 bit. Already it has set D7. Now it will not touch D7, it will set D6. So now D7 will be 1, D6 will be 1, and D5, D4, D3, D2, D1 will D1 and D0 will be 0. So rest all bits will be 0. Now that digital signal is given to the digital to analog converter, that will convert into analog voltage, and that will be your VDAC. Again comparator will compare analog voltage and VDAC, and it will give the output. For example, during this time, if the output voltage is negative voltage, then it will negative voltage, that means it will take it as 0 volts. So logic 0 will be present, and successive approximation detects logic 0 now, क्योंकि negative voltage is there. So that logic 0 at that moment, the successive approximation, what it will do is, now it will not touch D7 and D6, it will reset D5 now, because it is logic 0. So reset matlab D5 will be 0 and D4 will be 1, and then D3, D2, D1, D0 will be 0. Again DAC will convert into analog voltage, it will be given to comparator. Now again if we consider at this time the output of the comparator is negative voltage, that is logic 0, then successive approximation register will now reset D4 and set D3, and then the again DAC will convert into analog voltage, and this will take place. Again comparator will compare. Now this time if analog voltage is greater than VDAC, then positive voltage is developed at the output of the comparator, that is logic 1, and SAR gets logic 1, and then what it will do is D5 becomes 1 and rest all becomes 0. So whatever bit is there, it will set that, and rest of the bits will remain 0. So one by one adjacent bits will be set or reset depending upon the comparator output. And finally when it reaches D0, when analog voltage when analog voltage is equal to VDAC, when both become same and it is equal, the SAR will stop, and whatever output will be generated at the output of SAR, the successive approximation register, is the final your binary output. So this is what is written here. If Vin is greater than VDAC, output of comparator is positive voltage. SAR will set MSB bit. DAC will convert binary output of SAR to analog signal. Again, if comparator output is logic 1, SAR will set next consecutive bit. But if Vin is less than VDAC, output of comparator is negative voltage, that is logic 0. SAR will reset current bit and set next bit, consecutive bit. DAC will convert binary output of SAR to analog signal. Again, if comparator output is logic 0, SAR will reset current bit and set next bit, consecutive bit. The process continues. And when both is same, output of the comparator, SAR will stop and hold the current value of the binary. And the binary output is the equivalent value of the input analog signal. So this was all about successive approximation register analog to digital converter working. So this is the flow chart of successive approximation register. It states that initially all D7, D5 bits all are 0. Then start at MSB. Set bit equal to, depending upon DAC output, it will set to 1. And if the output is logic 0, then it will set the current bit and reset the current bit and set the next bit, and so on. Examples of analog to digital converter are microphone, strain gauge, thermocouple, voltmeter, digital multimeters, and many more. This is all about analog to digital converters. Thank you.